Hello Steno candidates, I am Ravina. Welcome to your own YouTube channel Lotus Steno Legal Matters. I am going to dictate you Steno Legal Matters. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more dictations. So be ready for the dictation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. It is the specific contention of the learned counsel for the petitioner that the expression with disability used in Chapter 4 and expression acquiring disability used in Chapter 7 of the Act are clearly distinguishable contextually. Stop. In this regard, a judgment rendered by a learned division bench of the Honorable High Court of Madras. Stop. The learned counsel has also contended that certain employees have been continuing with the light duty for years together without any illness whatsoever. Stop. According to him, the respondent corporation has been assigning light duty on ad hoc basis as a privilege for extraneous reasons. Stop. In support of his submissions, the learned counsel has referred to Exhibit P13, which is said to have been obtained by the petitioner under Right to Information Act. Stop. Summing up his submissions, the learned counsel for the petitioner has urged this court to set aside Exhibits P11 and P11 within bracket A and issue consequential directions to extend the benefit of Section 47 of the Act to the petitioner to have change of category. Stop. Per contra, Dr. Tushar James, the learned standing counsel for the respondent corporation, in tune with the counter affidavit filed by the corporation, has contended that the post of ticket issuer is a promotional post for the last grade employees, and as such the petitioner cannot be permitted to work continuously as ticket issuer at the expense of the employees in the feeder category. Stop. In other words, it is against law to permit the petitioner to work permanently in cash counter as ticket issuer. Stop. The learned standing counsel has further stressed that if all and sundry requests are accepted for light duty, it will lead to shortage of conductors, thereby adversely affecting the regular service operations of the corporation. Stop. Next para. According to the learned standing counsel, Exhibit P5 medical certificate does not specify the percentage of petitioner's disability apart from saying that the petitioner is not suitable for strenuous work. Stop. It is also the specific contention of the learned standing counsel that Section 2 of the Act exhaustively enumerates the type of disabilities apart from specifying the scope and nature of disability to be entitled to any benefit under the Act. Stop. In other words, the petitioner's disability, if any, does not fall within the purview of the Act. In expiation of her submissions, the learned standing counsel has submitted that Section 47 of the Act cannot be read in isolation so as to take it away from the lexical clause that is Section 2. Stop. Next para. Next dictation. It is not in dispute that the petitioner was hale and hearty when she joined the service of the corporation. It is not in dispute that the petitioner has acquired the disability during the course of her employment, and it is not in dispute that though Exhibit P5, the medical board, has certified that the petitioner is not suitable for strenuous work. Stop. Given these admitted facts, the only issue that is required to be resolved is whether the petitioner is entitled to the benefit of Section 47 of the Act. Stop. Before proceeding further, it is apposite to examine the directions of this court in Exhibits P3 and P9 judgments. Stop. In Exhibit P3 judgment, this court observed the learned standing counsel appearing for the KSRTC submits that if the petitioner appears before the medical board constituted by the Director of Health Service within 3 months from today, and if the medical board certifies that the petitioner has to be given light duty, then on the basis of the recommendation of the medical board, she will be given appropriate posting in accordance with law. Stop. The submission of the standing counsel is recorded. Interim order passed by this court will continue to be in force till a decision is taken by the respondent regarding the posting of the petitioner based upon the recommendation of the medical board. Writ petition is disposed of accordingly. Stop. Indeed, though Exhibit P5, the medical board confirmed that the petitioner has been suffering from uncontrolled hypertension. Stop. It has also opined that the petitioner is not suitable for strenuous work. Stop. Without reference to Exhibit P5 medical certificate, the respondent corporation issued Exhibit P7 memo that the light duty sanctioned to the petitioner has expired, hence she had to report back to original post of conductor grade 2 with effect from 23 September 2013. Stop. Once again aggrieved by Exhibit P7, the petitioner filed another writ petition and invited Exhibit P9 judgment, in which this court has pertinently observed as follows: an employee of the corporation who acquired disability while in service has to be dealt with in accordance with the provisions contained in the Persons with Disabilities Equal Opportunities Protection of Rights and Full Participation Act 1995. Stop. Section 47 of the said Act provides that if an employee acquires disability during service, the establishment shall not dispense with or reduce in rank of such employee. Stop. If due to the disability the employee became not suitable for the post he was holding, he should be shifted to some other post with the same pay scale and service benefits. Stop.